Hello everyone and welcome back. This week I promised to share some of the videos from our trip to France in the Easter, where we went to the southwestern part of France to look at two properties, one chateau and one larger manor house. Follow us and hopefully you will like it. And if you have any questions regarding the properties, we will answer them in the comments. So the first property, the Château, it was so amazing. It's the backyard or the front yard was when we came driving down the road, it was it stunned us. Inside it was very much renovated. The previous owners had renovated a lot with really good high quality interiors. Most of the bedrooms were not renovated at all, and it was a lot of potential for the right buyers to do a lot in continue the work inside, and that was also needed. The side buildings or outbuildings, they were large, and there were also done some roof work on the interior with the woodwork. So we liked that as well. They were perfect for Jeets, and also there was this building. The gatekeeper house outside the gate, which was I think it was 140 square meters, totally renovated with floor heating and 3 bedrooms. So that was also really nice. There was also a walled garden. Today it was only grass there, but that had also potential for being a really nice spot for growing vegetables. And in the backyard there was a wild garden, English garden, and that also had a really nice size. However, the really big drawback with this property was the closeness to a very big road between Manor and probably also La Rochelle to Paris. And when you were sitting outside in the garden, you could really hear the cars and the noises from the road. However, another positive thing with that one was that it was really close to a small village with a big supermarket. We stopped there to buy some food, and so that, well, if it hadn't been for that road, that would have been really a perfect property. So I think that was a little bit sad, especially as we are planning also to bring our horses down there. That would be a security issue for us, but also, it wasn't that nice to be outside in that really beautiful garden because the road was, and the noise from the road was so loud. However, inside they had put in new isolated windows, so inside we couldn't hear the traffic at all. So then we moved to the next one, and that was a manor house in a close to the nearest biggest city was Saint, which was we were told it was a really beautiful city, but we didn't go there. But it was in a village called Nantil. So let's look at that property as well. So this property was an old manor in a small village called Nantil. It was very close to a small road, a village road, but that was really not an issue there, I think. So as you can see outside, the main house or the manor house is really stylish, and it could be restorated in a really nice way, and it had a really beautiful garden in front. The property was flat. It was a village property, but it was on 2.5 hectares. It also had large outbuildings, also connected with the manor house, and well, it was really really old. So, but it had like a potential that was like amazing if you had a lot of money that you could put into all the buildings. But I think the manor house hadn't been upgraded since beginning of 1900s. So it was really everything needed work. There was no septic. The electricity was old. It was not connected with the water. So for us, it has had a price on 275,000 euros. So the price was really nice, but we sort of could understand when we saw all the work that had to be done. And so I think at least it was nice to have seen such a building as that, a little bit smaller than the Château, but it had a potential for being a really nice wedding venue anyway. So we stayed 3 days in France, mainly 2 days of traveling up and down from Paris. We lived in La Rochelle, a really beautiful coastal town. Easy access with the train from Paris, and we rented a car in La Rochelle, and it took around 40 minutes to drive to the Château close to Norway. And we also were driving almost down to Cognac to be a little bit familiar in that area. So it's we can conclude that it's not cheap to look at properties in France, and we were the whole family of 3 traveling down, so that added some extra cost. But do we regret it? No. I think when I look at properties, there are like enormously amount of properties adding up in my news feed every day, in groups or in like in properties pages on internet. And I think I have started to be really picky on what I think would be a nice property to have a look at later. We were also planning to look at another property that was taken off the market the day we were actually going to look at it. So I think it was an interesting experience, a needed experience. to find out how to get in contact with the agents. Some of them were answering quickly, some of them were quite late, answered late. So we also had picked out one property in Laval that was actually my priority number one, but they didn't respond before we actually were down there and realized we didn't have time and the logistics to go to Laval. So I think that going down there is also a little bit risky because one of the properties were taken off the market the day we were there. So having some picked out, at least like 2-3 properties to look at is a good idea. And we are not giving up. We are planning to have another trip to France this summer. So I think that it's also difficult to understand which properties will like been taken off the market very quick and which will stay there until the summer. But sometimes I get a little bit stressed. We need to go down to look at it fast. But there are so many properties added every day. So yeah, I think there will be plenty. so that was at least some thoughts and experiences from our trip to look at the properties. And if you have any questions, so don't hesitate. I think it's like learning by doing, and we learned a lot already. So see you next week. We bought a boat. We have started to renovate that. So hopefully you will see some boat renovation in the next video. So see you next week.